So as you start to find your comfortable shape this evening, that might be taking your feet wide as your mat, taking your arms down alongside you. The feet might come to touch, the soles of the feet might come to touch, and you might like to take the arms above the head. So whatever is feeling good for the body just now at this point. And as you find that comfortable shape now, just finding your kayasthir yam, your stillness of body, closing down the eyes, and just starting to fully arrive. Maybe today has been busy, or maybe the weekend was busy. So just giving your mind and your spirit a moment to catch up with your body. Hi, Mary.
Hi. Okay. And she can't see you though. No, I wanted to see you. I wanted to know you.
So just coming down to a Shavasana, Mary, whenever you're ready.
Hi.
Hi. Just coming down to your opening Shavasana, and we'll get started there, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. Sorry, guys. So as we start to feel the body being heavy against our mat or against our props, just starting to take a little moment to scan over the body. Scanning from head to feet or feet upwards. Whatever's feeling good this evening. And as we're scanning, we're softening the body just a little bit more. Maybe as we scan as well, we just take in some detail about our energy this evening, noticing if we're feeling tired or we're feeling energized. Noticing the true sense of your energy as you just come to this place of stillness. Sometimes we think that we have a lot of energy, but actually when we come to stillness, we find that we're just tired. And take a moment to turn your attention to your breath as well, noticing how you're breathing as you arrive this evening. Try and let your body relax into the smooth ebb and flow of your breath, your incoming and outgoing breaths. Just keeping your attention on those breaths, each individual breath now. And take your attention just a little closer to the detail of your breath. Notice if the breath is fast or slow this evening, if it's shallow or deep, or any other subtleties that you notice about how you're breathing. And for these last couple of moments here, maybe taking a few moments with the silent mantra, repeating it in your head or in your heart. I'm aware that I am breathing in. I'm aware that I am breathing out. And then just set aside that mantra, coming back to your attention on your breath. And for the next few moments, we will take some control of our breath and practice a pranayama while we're still here in this Shavasana shape. Now the hands can stay on the mat or wherever you have them placed, or if you want to, you can bring them onto the belly, stacking one hand on top of the other, or one hand underneath the rib cage, one hand underneath the belly button. And then we'll exhale to prepare and empty our lungs. Inhale and breathe into the belly, fill it up. Exhale, relax the belly back towards the mat. Inhaling, breathing into the belly again. And exhale, relax the belly back towards the mat, moving your hands up onto your rib cage. Inhaling, breathing into the belly and up into the ribs this time. Exhale, relax the ribs, relax the belly. One more like that, breathing into the belly and up into the ribs. Exhale, relax the ribs, relax the belly. Lastly, bringing the fingertips to your collarbones or shoulders, breathing into the belly, into the ribs, and all the way up into the shoulders. Exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the ribs, relax the belly. Last one together, breathing into the belly, the ribs, and all the way up into the shoulders, feeling the full chest and abdomen expand. Exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the ribs, relax the belly. And the hands can come gently down either beside you or just to rest on the body. And continuing with that 3-part breath for another few rounds, just moving at your own pace. And as you approach the end of the next exhale, just let go of the control of your breath. Come back to your own natural rhythm of breathing. Just here for these last couple of moments. And then we'll slowly just bring a little bit of gentle movement to our bodies. Just wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, move the wrists and ankles. Turn the head left and right. Bring the feet together at the end of the mat. With an inhale, maybe take the arms overhead. And maybe a little body stretch from the fingers all the way down to the toes might feel nice. And when you're ready, exhale and release the arms all the way down again alongside the body. We'll hug the knees into the chest, but we're going to stay on our back. So just take the moment to have a little bit of movement. The eyes can still be closed here. There's no need to open them if you are comfortable where you are. So our first one this evening is going to be a restorative bridge. So maybe just reaching for a block or a bolster that might be near your mat. Bring your feet back down to the mat if you were hugging the knees in. Keep the legs bent. And then take a moment to press into the feet, press into the heels, lift your pelvis, slide a block or a bolster, whatever is your option and your preference this evening, just in underneath the pelvis. If you're using the block, just bringing it under the sacrum and just make sure it feels comfortable for you, the larger, flatter side on the mat and underneath the sacrum. If you want to have a little bit more elevation, you could of course bring 2 blocks under, but that would be a little bit more onto the inside. If you wanted more restorative, I would recommend just 1. And we're very early in our class, so take it easy and take it slowly. If you're using a bolster, it's probably supporting the whole pelvis, so just feel nice and relaxed there. The legs can stay bent, maybe taking the knees to touch, maybe taking the feet wide if we've any problems with our lower back this evening. But if the lower back is feeling good, you might like to extend the legs long, let the feet fall open to the outer edges of your mat. Let the legs be lovely and heavy here and just enjoy this gentle back bend of the pelvis being elevated. The arms and hands for restorative bridge. The arms can be alongside you, maybe just taking them a little bit away from the body, but maybe on the mat alongside you, maybe turning the palms face up. Or above the head, taking one hand into the other, letting the elbows relax, letting the shoulders relax onto the mat. Or if one more option might be nice for you today, if you're feeling a lot of tension in the shoulders, you might like to wrap the arms across the chest, bring the elbows to touch and let the hands fall down towards your armpits. Fallen wing or broken wing, a yin style posture. Make sure you're feeling nice and long through the back of the neck. Maybe just take a little moment to lift the chin towards the chest a little bit more and feel that nice length from the crown of the head along the back of the neck and down the spine. Make any last adjustments that you need to for your body. And then we'll find our stillness once more. That same Kaya Yam that we started with this evening. Stillness of body and mind. So all you need to do now is just continue to breathe. Nice, slow, gentle breaths. We're just going to enjoy this posture for a few more moments before I invite you to join me for a little breathwork practice towards the end of this hold. I'm just going to leave you to enjoy the gentle back bend for a few more moments in silence. Okay, for the next portion of this hold in this asana, I'm going to encourage some nice breaths into the upper part of our chest, just to try and expand into the rib cage just a little bit more. So if you had taken that option of wrapping the arms across the chest, maybe just taking the arms to unwrap them, taking them either above the head or just out, maybe at a T shape either, just to open the chest and feel that nice expanse at the front of the body. And then what we're going to try and aim for here is breathing into the 360 degrees all the way around our rib cage. So we'll take an inhale, and as we inhale, trying to take that breath forward, out the front of the chest, out the sides of the chest, and pressing against the mat into the back of the body. Exhale, then empty the lungs and empty all that air out of the chest space. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhaling, breathing into the chest, maybe even the shoulders raise up so that you can find a little bit more space. Breathing into the front of the chest, the side and the back. Exhale, try and release all that air out of the chest, out of the lungs, almost like deflating a balloon. One more time, inhaling, breathing into every single bit of space that you can find in your upper chest area. And then exhale, relax and release. Okay. And then just let the breath return to its natural rhythm. Maybe you can subtly notice some of that space now that you've created, just in between the ribs. Maybe stretching all of that fascia that has maybe not had a moment to stretch for a little while. Maybe it's been a while since you took a really deep breath. Just staying with that attention on our breath for these last few moments. And then bringing the arms back down alongside the body, maybe turning the palms face down, rebending the legs. Take the feet to the floor, maybe pressing into the feet and pressing into the heels of the hands if you need to slide your prop out to the side, your block or your bolster, just leaving them to the side of the mat. Let the body come down nice and gently onto the mat. And we're just going to take a brief rebound pose in a Shavasana. So take the body and all the way down to the mat. Taking the feet wide, taking the arms just down alongside the body, and just feel the difference now after that gentle back bend, the pelvis being elevated, but also that expanse into the rib cage. Can you notice those changes that you have undergone in the body just in these few moments in that asana? Allow yourself to notice these subtle changes just for a few more rounds of breath. And we're just staying on our back just for a last little bit. We're going to do banana asana on both sides while we're still on our back. So to come into banana asana on our right side first, we'll take the arms, stretching them up overhead. Begin to take your hands towards the top right corner of your mat, maybe taking your left wrist in your right hand just to be able to stretch into the left side of the body a little bit more. So a gentle tug on the left wrist just to open along the rib cage on the left side, from into the armpit and all the way along that arm, the left arm that is. And then slowly starting to take your feet to the bottom right corner of your mat. So you're trying to create a crescent shape or a banana shape with your body from the bottom right corner to the top right corner. Maybe you cross the left ankle or cross the right ankle just to deepen that lengthening of the left leg. As you settle in now, start to press your left hip down to the mat, press your left shoulder down to the mat, and try and exaggerate this shape as much as feels comfortable for your body. Really opening again into that rib cage, really encouraging some space to be created in the side of the body tonight in our practice. Make any last adjustments that you need and then settle in to your stillness. And this evening in our banana asana, we're going to practice a little listening meditation. While we're moving through the meditation, just continuing to breathe into the side of the body, that left side of the ribs, really being conscious to have nice, smooth breath, but really trying to expand into that space between the rib cage. So our first part of our listening meditation is to listen to ourselves breathing. We're just listening to the inhale and exhale, taking our attention really close to our body for these first few moments. From there, then taking your attention a little further away from your body, just tune in to hear any sounds that you can hear around you within this space this evening. Not trying to think what is creating this sound or where is the sound coming from, but just hear the sound, add it to the soundtrack that is accompanying you in your rest this evening, and then continue to be in your body and your breath. Letting go of the focus from the meditation. And then slowly start to bring the legs back to center. Bring the arms down alongside the body for a moment. If you'd like to have some gentle movement, maybe hugging the knees into the chest or bringing the legs to bent, feet on the floor and windshield wiper the knees. And then whenever you're ready, we'll take our body back down to the mat, taking the arms back overhead. And this time taking our hands to the top left corner of our mat, maybe taking the right wrist in the left hand this time. Lengthening the right arm so that we can get that space again on the right side of our rib cage this time. Just a gentle tug so that we can lengthen into the rib cage, into the armpit and all the way along the arm. And then bringing your feet to the bottom left corner, maybe crossing the right ankle across the left. And pressing your right hip down to the mat, your right shoulder down to the mat as much as feels comfortable. Breathing into the right side of the rib cage, feeling that space that you created still there from a few moments ago. Make any last adjustments, and then staying here for the next few moments. And we'll return to that listening meditation that we started on the other side now. And this next part of our listening meditation is just to take our attention to tune in for some sounds that we can hear outside of the space, outside of the studio. Again, not trying to overthink it, just adding any extra sounds that we can hear, adding them to our soundtrack, to our symphony accompanying us this evening. for the last few moments on this side. We're going to combine all of those different layers of our listening meditation, bring them all together in this last part of our practice. So as you inhale, I'm going to invite you to zooming in to listen again to your own breath as it moves in and out of the body. As you exhale, letting the attention zoom out, either zooming out to the sounds in the room or zooming out, that is, to hear sounds outside of the space. So breathing in and zooming in, breathing out and zooming out. Whenever you're ready, just letting go of that meditation. Start to bring the legs back to center of the mat, bring the arms to the center and then back down alongside the body. Again, just taking a moment for a little bit of movement if the body is needing it right now, hugging the knees into the chest, giving a little hug, squeeze or gentle roll on the lower back, or bringing the feet to the floor, bending the knees and windshield wiper the knees. We are going to start to make our way up to a seat, so if you'd like to roll to the right side whenever you're ready, maybe take a brief pause at that side. And then coming up to seated whenever you're ready. We're going to come to set our props up for our restorative balasana, restorative child's pose next. So you have some options in terms of the setup for this one. Because I'm more short in the body, I usually just practice with just a bolster, but if you are taller than me, you might like to bring blocks underneath your bolster. I usually recommend lining them up and having a little bit of space between the blocks, just so that they're basically the same length as your bolster, so that you're not feeling like it's wobbling off them. Another nice option to add is to bring your blanket on top of your bolster for a little bit of extra cushioning. Whatever's feeling good this evening. I'm just going to take my blocks back out because I don't really need them and it might show you the wrong shape as we're coming into it. So to come into your supported child's pose, just taking the bolster as close to the body as possible, the knees nice and wide, and then just start to walk the hands along your bolster, bring the chest down. Ideally bringing your elbow underneath your shoulder so that the elbow is supported, the palms flat on the mat, or maybe hugging the hands around the bolster. And we'll turn our head to one side, and halfway through I will give you a reminder just to turn the head to the other side so we have balance on our neck. We're going to take this one for a nice long hold, so just make sure you're comfortable. Let the body be heavy against the bolster. Make any last adjustments that you do need for your body. And remember, in our restorative child's pose, we're not really trying to push our body weight back towards our heels. We're really thinking about heavying the body against the bolster, against the earth. So try and just feel about release in our child's pose this evening. And I'm going to take you into a little meditation again in a moment. But first of all, just want to remind you of a couple of last things here. As we settle in, again, just coming back to that same idea from earlier of expanding into your rib cage in 360-degree direction. So really feeling an expanse into the back of the body just for these first few breaths. expanding into the rib cage, out of the back of the body, at the sides of the body, and even towards the bolster below your chest. Just taking a nice few expansive breaths. Really thinking about breathing into that heart space right at the center of our being. Our heart is facing down towards the floor, but even thinking about that heart space shining upwards out of the back of the body. The last few expansive breaths. And then let the breath return to its own natural rhythm. And I'm going to take you on a little visualization meditation for a few moments here. So imagine that you're standing at the end of a long corridor. Imagine that the corridor is a place that you feel very safe and comfortable in. You feel gently drawn to start walking slowly down the corridor. Notice what it looks like, what type of corridor it is. Are there any windows, doors, plants, paintings? As you slowly walk down the corridor, imagine a door up ahead that you feel really drawn to. Imagine walking up to the door and very slowly opening it. Behind this door is the most beautiful space. Let your own imagination conjure up the space. Is it indoors or outdoors? What is this space? What does it smell like? Are there any sounds here? Allow yourself to explore this beautiful, perfect, peaceful space in your own time. And then gently turning your head to the other side to have balance on your neck. And as you turn, you notice someone standing in the middle of the space. You turn your body towards them and you realize that this person is you. It is your authentic self. Imagine slowly walking up towards them. Notice how they are standing, the smile on their face. Notice the peace and softness in your eyes. Notice what they are wearing, how they are holding themselves, and get a sense of how it feels to be in their presence. Now imagine looking down and notice that they are offering you a gift. Accept this gift without analysing it. It doesn't need to make any sense. Just notice what is being offered. Next, ask yourself for a piece of advice on something that is challenging you. Maybe it's a decision you're trying to make, or you just want some guidance, and notice what the reply is. Take these last few moments admiring your radiant, beautiful whole self, and then imagine stepping into their shoes, looking out from their eyes, standing right where they are standing because they have been you all along. Notice how it feels to be standing there, integrated with that vision of your authentic self. Take a deep, cleansing breath and imagine walking as your true self back through the space where you were in. Slowly back out the door and back along the corridor to the place where you first started. Staying with that connection to your own truth, your wisdom, your radiance. Take another deep breath. And just stay here for a few last moments, reflecting on what you've just experienced. We'll slowly start to lift the head, lift the chest, walk the hands back along the bolster. Just moving your bolster over to the side and any blocks out of the way as well. We'll just stay on our knees for a moment, maybe bringing the knees closer together. And just, the eyes can still be closed here of course. Maybe taking the hands slowly behind us, behind our feet, walking the hands back about a foot or 2 feet, depending on your flexibility, just behind us. And then just taking a moment to lift through our chest, just to counterbalance that forward fold. Lifting through our heart, through our chest, opening the shoulders, squeezing the shoulder blades together maybe if we wanted to be a little bit more active. Breathing into the front of the body just for a few moments. Be careful of the neck here, just not letting the neck fall too far back. Slowly walking the hands back towards your knees. And then we'll just take our bolster back. We're going to come to a supported sphinx. Another one of my favorites. So we'll take the bolster, or you could use a rolled up blanket if the bolster feels like it's going to be too much elevation for your body this evening. Maybe just having that next to you in case you want to swap it out in a moment. So whichever prop you're using, it's about 1.5 feet from the top of your mat. Ideally, when you come down to bring your forearms to the mat like you would in a sphinx pose, your elbow is lining up under your shoulder and the bolster or blanket is just underneath your shoulder and your armpit. So we can stay here with the chest lifted and the head lifted and the hands just flat on the mat. Or you can reach for a block, bringing that under the forehead so that you can relax down onto the block. Or if it feels better for you this evening, stacking the hands either onto the mat or onto the block and bringing the forehead all the way down towards the earth. Depending on what option you're going for the upper body, just finding which one's feeling best this evening. And then before you start to find your stillness, just take a moment to notice your legs as well in supported sphinx. Maybe bringing your heels towards the center of the mat, the big toes outwards, or maybe bringing the big toes inwards and the heels outwards. Depending on your pelvis and your hips, one might feel more comfortable than the other, so just listening to your body, finding what feels good for you. Mary, coming to Shavasana on the back either, if that would feel better, there's no problem. as we settle in here, I'm going to return to a little breath work. Just a nice gentle breath where we bring our inhale to the same length as our exhale. The name that I use for this one is coherent breath. You may have heard of it called a different title before. But we're first going to practice 3 rounds of bringing our breath to a count of 5. Our inhale for a count of 5, our exhale for a count of 5. So if you're joining me for this one, just exhaling to empty the lungs. And then inhaling 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Let the breath return to its natural rhythm now. Do one more round of that coherent breath, this time taking our breath just a little longer. We're going to take it to a count of 6. So 6 for our inhale and 6 for our exhale. If you're joining me again, just taking in exhale to empty the lungs. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let the breath return to its natural rhythm now. Slowly begin to lift through the head, lift through the chest, maybe walking the hands back towards the body, onto the bolster to press you up to your knees. We'll just move our bolster slightly to the side so we can set up our next props. I've given everyone an extra block. We're going to set our props up for a Supta Baddha Konasana next. So a little elevation under the head, with a block underneath your bolster, and then taking maybe 2 blocks so that we have them for underneath the knees when we bring our legs to Baddha Konasana. Of course, keep a blanket nearby if you'd like to pop that over you, or if you'd like any extra coziness as we settle down. So the spacing for this one, about your fist size between the end of the bolster and your lower back, so not too close to it and not too far away. And then bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees be nice and wide, and you can have that nice wide diamond shape. We're not kind of making it too intense on our legs, but if you prefer it to be closer, obviously whatever feels good for you this evening. And then just keeping the blocks nearby if you want to pop them under the legs when you get down to lying position. Walk the hands behind you, bring the spine nice and gently onto your bolster. And if you want that adjustment of the blocks under the thighs, under the knees, wherever feels good for you, and at whatever height feels best for your body this evening. You can make it as restorative or as opening of a hip opener as you like it to be. Remember just to lengthen through the back of the neck, a slight tuck of your chin down towards your chest, getting that nice energy all the way along the back of the body, from the crown of the head down to the tailbone. The hands and arms can be just alongside you, opening through the chest and letting the arms and hands rest on the mat. Or a nice option in this one to bring the hands to rest on the bolster just above the head if you have a little bit of space left there. Maybe taking one hand into the other, letting the elbows just open wide, mirroring the shape of our legs. Opening through the chest and through the shoulders. Take a moment or two to make any adjustments that you need to. And settle in for this asana. As we settle here, just want you to think about expanding your awareness to experience your own living presence here this evening on the mat. We connected earlier with our authentic self. Maybe that authentic self is still with you now. And just have a sense of your vital sensing body here this evening as well. Have a sense of this whole complete self now. Your authentic self, your body, your mind, your spirit, everything coming together. But be aware of the physical side, be aware of the flow of your breath, be aware of the life force, the heat, the energy that is within our bodies. All of these things that tell us that we are present this evening on our mat. We are here and we are here and now. And notice sensations being generated in your body moment by moment. Noticing these sensations arising and then just slipping away again. Resist giving any names to the sources of these sensations. Don't try to think, is it in my hand, my foot? Just notice them in the body, arising and then disappearing. They're almost the essence of the flow of life, which is animating your body here this evening. This same energy and vitality is in all of us and in all of the room and space around us. Just feel your body breathing. Everything is just taking care of itself. And just being here in your own presence for the next few moments. for our last few moments now. Just maybe taking a few last slow, deep inhales and exhales. Really letting the body be as relaxed as it can be, really get the benefits of this asana for these last few moments. And to slowly begin to bring ourselves back up. Just taking the arms back down alongside the body if we had them raised. Maybe reaching for the tops of the thighs, drawing the knees back together. Bringing the hands back to the mat. Start to lift your head, lift your chest, maybe pressing into the forearms, into the hands as you come all the way back up to seated. And moving your props over to one side. We're going to just come to a little bit of gentle movement on our back before we start to find a Shavasana shape. So I'll invite you just to come down onto the mat without any props underneath you just for the moment, and we will reach for any props that we need for our Shavasana in just a minute. So coming down onto your back, legs bent and feet on the floor. We're just going to take our right leg, bring the knee to a bent position, bringing your knee over your hip. And then we're just extending the leg towards the sky and rebending the knee. So it's just bringing the foot towards the sky, extending the leg straight and rebending the knee. Just a couple more times. Softening that knee. We don't have to bring it to lock it out. Just a nice bit of gentle movement in that knee area for a moment. Last time, extending it towards the sky, then rebend your leg. Drop your foot to the floor and we'll slide that right leg out flat on the mat. And with our right leg flat and our left leg bent, maybe just take a moment to rotate through the ankle of our right foot. Rotating in one direction, nice slow little circles. Reverse your circle and rotate in the opposite direction. And then take your foot to stillness, and we're just going to point through the toe, flex through the heel, point your toes towards the front of the mat, point your toes back towards your shin. A couple more times with our right foot. And then just soften through the right leg, let it be heavy against the mat. And we're going to take our left leg, bring our knee over our hip, and then just extending and bending through the left leg a few times. Gentle movement in the left knee, a little bit of pressure into the left hip as well. Extending and bending, just moving with your breath. The body nice and heavy against the mat. And of course the eyes can be open or closed, whatever's feeling best right now. Last time, extending it towards the sky, rebend your knee, bring your foot down to the floor and then slide that left leg out long. And then take a moment to circle the ankle in one direction, nice and slow. Reverse the circle for a few circles in the other direction. And then take a moment to bring it back to center, point through the toe and flex through the heel. Stretch out that calf and that ankle. And then let that left leg be nice and heavy. Just let it relax onto the mat. Maybe the feet flop out to the edges of the mat. Maybe they just stay where they are. We're going to take a last little bit of movement in our arms. But this time we'll work both arms together. So bring the arms straight up out of the shoulders, reaching the fingers towards the sky. Keep your shoulder blades flat on the mat. And we're just going to bend through the elbows, drop your hands down towards your shoulders and extend the hands up towards the sky. So hands down towards your shoulders and then hands towards the sky. Just a couple of times, bending and straightening. Again, a little bit of pressure into our shoulders and a nice bit of movement through our elbow joint. And then one last time, straightening the arms, bend them back down, and we'll let the arms come all the way down. Maybe to bring our upper arms onto the mat, keep the elbows on the mat and take the hands still straight up from the elbows this time. And then just circling through both wrists in one direction. Reverse your circle. And then maybe just flexing the wrist in both directions. Bring your fingers towards the front of the wrist and towards your palm, and then bring the fingers towards the back of the hand. Just bringing them in both directions. Don't worry, any little cracks and crunches are all normal. As long as you've no pain to accompany them, all is good. And then our last thing, bringing the hands back to stillness, we're just going to scrunch the hands up into a little fist and then spread the fingers wide. We'll do that a few more times. Scrunch it up into a little ball and then spread the fingers as wide as you can. One more time, make a little ball and then spread the fingers wide. And then just let the arms come all the way down to the mat. Maybe now they come a little bit further from the body. Maybe the palms turn face up. Maybe this is the shape that you want to take for your Shavasana, or maybe you want to reach for a prop, perhaps a bolster for under the back of the knees, maybe a blanket for under the head. If there's anything you need, reach for it. And if there's something that you're missing, give me a little wave. I'm happy to get anything that you're missing. And remember, as you start to find your shape, always keep that attention of that nice length in the back of the neck. So maybe lifting the head and lengthening the back of the neck. Maybe a little tuck of the chin in towards the chest. I'm just going to turn off this last light. I'm going to take you through a little guided relaxation, and then I'll leave you in stillness and silence, how I like to practice my closing Shavasana. And then I'll call you back when the time is right. We'll still have a little bit of time for one closing breath work together before we finish our practice. So as you start to find your Kaya Stharyam for the last time, your stillness of body and mind, take your attention down towards your feet, relaxing your toes and your feet, your ankles, shins and calves. Relax the knees, the front and back of the thighs. Begin to relax into the hips and the pelvis, the belly. Allow the belly to be soft and release the lower back. Relax the ribs and the chest, the shoulders, maybe giving the shoulders one final roll, and the shoulder blades come a little further down our back. Relax the upper arms, the lower arms. If the arms remain on the mat, just maybe turning the palms face up if they're not already there. Taking all the effort and energy out of our hands and our fingers, and just let those fingers gently curl inwards towards your palms. Relaxing the neck and up into the head. Relaxing the muscles of your face, your jaw, your tongue, maybe parting your teeth. Relax the muscles around the eyes. And lastly, the forehead, the seat of our mind. Here for the next few moments, and I'll call you back when the time is right. Slowly starting to take our attention back to our bodies and our awareness back to our bodies, beginning to gently move our bodies, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, moving the wrists and ankles, turning the head left and right, bringing the feet together at the end of the mat. And with an inhale, drawing the arms up overhead, stretching from fingers to toes. Exhale, relax and release. Allow the arms to come back down alongside the body. Begin to draw knees in towards the chest. Give a little hug, squeeze or gentle roll there on the lower back. And whenever you feel ready, rolling to the right side, taking a pause there for a moment. Slowly bringing your left hand to the mat in front of your face, extending through the left leg and pushing up to come up to find a comfortable seat. There's no rush to come up, take your time. And once you come up, reaching for any props that help you to find that comfortable seat. It can be the rolled up blanket, a bolster, a block even, and the legs can be crossed, extended or on your knees. I think you guys all know the trick with the blocks for the knees, don't you? Stacking your two blocks, bringing them between your feet, and then just sitting the sit bones onto the blocks so that they take the pressure off the knees, if that feels better for you this evening. Always a nice option for breath work because it keeps the nadis open, the energy channels, so it's a lovely one for breath work as well. So as promised, we're going to come to a little breath work to finish off this evening. We're going to do 5 rounds of Brahmari breath, which is really soothing on our nervous system. It sounds a bit like this if you haven't heard it for a while. So we'll be humming for the full extent of our exhale. 5 inhales, 5 exhales. Everyone will count their own 5 because we have different lengths of breath. So once you've completed your own 5 rounds, you can let the hands come gently back down to your legs and just allow your body a moment to bring the breath back to its normal rhythm. The only contraindication for Brahmari breath is if you're suffering with any ear pain or ear infections this evening. It's one that you probably should not practice, and so instead you can sit with your hands on your legs, just breathing through the practice and enjoying the vibrations created by your fellow yogis around you. So if you're joining me, we're taking our hands resting 4 fingers gently on the top of the head. We're going to use our thumbs in a moment to close in our ears, but first we'll take a cleansing breath together. So taking an inhale, exhale through the mouth, relax the shoulders, settle into your seat. Maybe even closing the eyes if that feels comfortable, or your gaze down towards your heart. Take an inhale then to prepare. Bring your thumbs to your ears and begin to hum on the exhale. Bring the hands to the knees whenever you're ready. Let those vibrations settle in your body. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Brahmari, those vibrations that we create in Brahmari breath, just really soothing on our nervous system. A lovely practice for the evening time, especially heading towards bed. So enjoying those vibrations settling, let's take our hands slowly to Anjali Mudra at our heart center. The eyes still closed, or that soft gaze down towards your heart space. As you bring your hands to prayer, connect your thumbs against your breastbone, press equally against the thumbs, the fingertips and the heels of the hands. Connect the sides of your fingers, creating a strong mudra of hands to heart. And we'll close our practice this evening with an Om and 3 Shantis. Shanti, the word for peace, always calling for peace for ourselves, peace for the world, and peace for those who cannot ask for it for themselves. Always welcome to listen as well, but if you'd like to join me, we're taking an inhale. Inhale. Shanti. 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 Once again, just giving those vibrations a moment to settle. And then gently beginning to rub the palms of the hands together, create heat with the friction. Bring the warm hands and gently cup them over the closed eyes. Take an inhale. As you exhale, gently blink the eyes open into the warmth and darkness of your hands. Slowly releasing the hands back to heart center, to either Anjali Mudra or resting them on your heart. And gently bowing your head to your hands and to the practice of yoga. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for joining me, guys. No problem. I'm just pressing stop on the recording, but I'm here for all of you, both online and in person, if you have any questions. And I might just pop on a light as well, because it's a little dark in the studio.